So today we're going to be talking about the UFC ranking system. Now, I've got a video of Dana White on screen. Pretty irrelevant. Well, not really, because there's a point he makes in that video that is key to this video right here. Now, we know that Dana White does not like the UFC ranking system currently. He hates the way the media members are doing it. That's where all the John Jones stuff kicked off, really. The fact that the media members, who are right, are not putting John Jones point for point number one, which he doesn't deserve to be point for point number one, if we're being honest. If you use up here, you know that he should not be point for point number one, and it's clearly Islam Makhachev, and Pereira's clearly above him, and there's so many others, but we're not going to get into that in this video. But what I want to talk about is the Khalil Rountree ranking. Now, this was a big talking point after his fight against Alex Pereira. I maybe should have made this video then, but Dana White has spoke about it since, so I'm going to talk about it now. Sue me. Anyway, Khalil Rountree obviously went in there against Alex Pereira at UFC 307, and he got stopped in the fourth round. Now, I want to start off by giving Khalil Rountree his flowers. That was a really impressive performance against Alex Pereira. A lot of people did not expect that guy to win. I picked him to win for some reason. Anyway, move on from that quickly. But yes, his performance was really impressive. No one really expected him to make that fight that competitive for the 2 rounds against Alex Pereira. That's arguably the third toughest test Pereira's had. I mean, you've got the Adesanya fights, obviously. Jan Blachowicz took him to a split decision. And then you've got Khalil Rountree. Now, it was a really, really impressive performance, but a lot of people are saying this guy needs to be moved up, maybe into the top 5 of the light heavyweight rankings. Ignore that voice break. And that doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand he had a great performance in there against Alex Pereira, and he pushed him to the limits for those 2 rounds, dropped him, etc. But the guy lost. You know what I mean? The guy lost. It's not as if he lost a split decision or anything like that. He got finished brutally in the 4th round by Pereira. So why would we be rewarding this guy with a top 5 ranking? Purely, you're basing it off 2 rounds. Because those were where he was competitive with Pereira. Those 2 rounds. So you're going to move this guy to the top 5 in the light heavyweight division. He was on a 5-fight win streak going into that Pereira matchup. His best win was number 12 ranked Anthony Smith. So a win over Anthony Smith and getting stopped in the 4th round by Alex Pereira, give this guy top 5 ranking. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think Khalil Rountree, you could have moved him up 2 spots, but definitely not top 5. The fact that some people were saying this guy should be moved up into the top 5 is ridiculous, in my opinion. Doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, let's just look at the light heavyweight rankings, right? So you've got Khalil Rountree in at number 8. I think you could have moved him up above Nikita Krylov and Volkan Oezdemir. Definitely Nikita Krylov. Now, that guy hasn't fought in quite some time, and his last win was against Ryan Spann, who he won, and he beat him in the 1st round, but Ryan Spann isn't even ranked inside the top 15. So I think you could have put Khalil Rountree above him if you wanted. Oezdemir is a bit of a difficult one because that guy's coming off a KO win over Johnny Walker, and that guy's been like a mainstay in the top 10 at light heavyweight for quite some time. He's got a pretty decent resume there. You could put him above it. I wouldn't be annoyed if you put Khalil Rountree over over these 2 guys off that performance if you want to move him up. Because in my opinion, Khalil Rountree did prove that he is better than his number 8 ranking, but he hasn't actually proved it in fighting the ranked guys in this division, if that makes any sense. But this is what I want to talk about. I've had people comment on my TikTok videos, be sure to go follow me over there, closing on 20k, that he should be put above Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska because he had a more competitive fight with Alex Pereira than what those 2 guys did, which makes 0 sense, like none whatsoever. Yuri Prohaska, look at this guy's resume. He's beat Dominic Reyes, Glover Teixeira, Volkan Oezdemir. The list goes on and on how many big names this guy's beaten. Also, let's not forget he's a former light heavyweight champion. Magomed Ankalaev is on a 10-fight win streak. Look at some of the names that guy's beat on his resume. You know what I mean? You've got Jamal Hill. Look at the names on his resume. Again, let's not forget, former light heavyweight champion. No one talks about Jan Blachowicz, which is good, because Jan Blachowicz in the light heavyweight division gave Alex Pereira his toughest fight. I know Khalil Rountree looked good, but he did not push Pereira the way Jan Blachowicz did, and that's a fact. Rakic, again, has a really good resume in the light heavyweight division. He shouldn't be above him. I just can't get my head around the fact that everybody thinks Khalil Rountree should be now top 5 because he got finished in the 4th round by Alex Pereira. Like, the only reason people think this is because he done better than what people had expected. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't think there's an issue with his ranking. I mean, if you wanted to move him up, put him in a number 6. But I think the fact that people want to put this guy in a number 5 is just ridiculous, in my opinion. But let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. PC is back up and running. And I'll see you again in the next one.